Imagine you start your own endurance league, and less than 1.5 hours into the race, you see this.
You know what that is? Simply lovely.
You red flag the session, tell everyone to line up in the pits. Some people blow up their engines in idle. You cancel the entire session and start a new race with 22 hours of runtime. More teams drop out. You park it after 20 minutes and cancel the broadcast. Welcome to the story of the International SimRacing Federation's first and only 24 Hours of Daytona. My name is Solstice, and I love sim racing. After spelunking with some iRacing back in 2021, I came back 1.5 years ago as a streamer, and it's been a blast. I'm trying my best to understand the ecosystem, and I call things out where I see them going. So when I saw a new endurance league starting up in iRacing, I was excited. The schedule looked amazing. Another group of VTubers was signed up already, and I was actively searching for my first league to join. Little did I know, I signed up for iRacing's equivalent of the Fyre Festival. Which brings us to the prequel, T-7 days. 1 week before the scheduled Daytona 24, the league organized a 10-hour race to test procedures and let teams prepare for the big one. Now, anyone who has driven this year's Daytona 24 knows the Porsche absolutely clears its GT3 competition because of how fast and stable it is through the bus stop chicane. League organizers promised a BOP that would be applied and tested in the 10-hour prequel race. This was quietly abandoned, no test was done, and no BOP was discussed for a few more days until T-3 days. Non-Porsche GT3 drivers and teams started asking questions. Understandably, they were upset. Initially, a BOP was promised, then never executed, then walked back. Enough drivers started talking about it that the league organizers felt the pressure and folded. T-48 hours. Suddenly, an @everyone ping lit up the server. Who wants a BOP? The discussion chat filled with activity. Porsche drivers advocating against a BOP. Non-Porsche drivers threatening to pull out if there won't be one. Organizers quietly sitting back and reading the discourse. One driver suggested reversing the mid-season BOP changes in GT3 and adding iRacing's Daytona 24 BOP on top of it to try and replicate the exact conditions that were used 4 months ago in the special event. This is bad for 3 reasons. 1. Fuel use and aerodynamic drag cannot be adjusted in hosted races. 2. Added weight and reduced power do not scale linearly. Minus 2% power is not twice as effective as minus 1%. Neither is plus 22 kilos twice as effective as plus 11. And third, they really wanted to add 22 kilos and remove 2.3% engine power from the Porsche GT3 based on the advice of an Aston Martin GT3 driver. Then the organizer sneakily said that if BOP wins the vote, that will be applied. After 2 hours, the points were clear. BOP makes sense, but it is only 48 hours to green flag and way too late to discuss this with 0 testing involved. However, over the course of the season, with strengths and weaknesses per car, having no BOP should balance itself out. Organizers drew a line, said they would consider and think about the voting results. 2 minutes later, no BOP was confirmed. That day, ISF lost a third of its grid. From 30 cars, 10 withdrew in the aftermath of the BOP discussion, including some Porsche GT3s, simply because it was handled terribly, and the discussion handled even worse. You thought this was all that went wrong? Think again. Still molding from the BOP discussion, the league organizer changed the rule book to add a wording about being respectful on the Discord server. Even in the Discord, no arguing in the any chats. If you are found doing that, you will get one warning. If you do it again, there might be consequences. Never mind the broken English. The organizer pretended this was always part of the rulebook. He acted like he didn't change the rules right then and there. Drivers started showing up with receipts. Their own downloaded copies of the rulebook did not show any such rule. One driver downloaded the most recent available copy of the rulebook from the Discord server. No such wording can be found there either. Yep, the league organizer was caught with his pants down, trying to change the rules quietly, then pretending the rule was always there. 48 hours to green flag, by the way. This is also when drivers started getting seriously annoyed at the constant at everyone pings. Race day. 20 cars showed up, far less than the 30 that were signed up until the BOP discussion. But it's a new league, their first race ever, 24 hours to prove themselves. Our car struggled a little at the start, so we found ourselves one lap down on the full course yellow. Procedure wasn't followed, so we didn't get the lap back. Then another team started harassing us to let them through, even though we were faster than them, and blue flags were optional. Whatever, that's not my gripe. I got in the car for the second stint, and I get on track. I see one car dropping from the lead lap with a black flag penalty. They serve the penalty, go out on track, and get another black flag. They exit the pits a few seconds ahead of me. I catch up quickly as they're on cold tires. I slipstream in the oval section, and... brake check. The middle of the oval section. A fully intentional, malicious wreck. With a broken rear end, this Porsche then goes around turn 1, cuts across the grass, and aims for the leading pack after the first horseshoe. He misses. He turns the car around, cuts across the grass, and aims again for the pack coming out of the second horseshoe. Score. P1 gets away, but second, third, and fourth in the GT3 classes all wreck out. Red flag is called just 1 hour and 15 minutes into the race. The Porsche driver is disqualified and removed from the race. Engines explode from idle. The session is cancelled. 6 more teams drop out. With only 14 on the grid, nobody wanted to continue, and the Daytona 24 was postponed.
No way we lost so many of these cars because of that
No,
stupid.
it's only 7 GTPs and 6 GT3s.
Holy shit.
We lost 5 GT3s and 3 GTPs.
It's fine, there is.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
I know what you might be thinking. But Saul, the organizers banned the intentional wrecker right away. You can't blame them for someone starting to intentionally wreck people after getting a penalty. And you would be right. Except, the person who started intentionally wrecking was not just a friend of the organizer. Their team was literally signed up by the organizer. Usually, the team captain would confirm team participation and driver lineup, but in this case, it was the organizer who did both of those things. I personally believe the company you keep says a lot about who you are as a person. If you hang around immature people who lash out with unnecessary anger and borderline violence, then you say you are okay with people who lash out like that. Inviting them to your league? That's just making it the problem of everyone else. As of today, ISF has no plans to host more endurance races, with the endurance series postponed with no news since the race. Instead, they're trying to do a sprint series now in the style of European Le Mans series. And while the intentional wrecker is removed from the league, I will be avoiding these organizers as much as I can. Changing the rules at whim and pretending it was always worded that way is one of the biggest red flags a league organizer can show. Not managing the BOP until 48 hours before the race was ridiculous. as was the discussion around it. If you want to organize a league in iRacing, please learn from these mistakes. Communicate well, plan even better. And in case anyone is wondering, nope, the driver was not banned from iRacing after being protested. Probably because it was a hosted session. But generally, the sporting code still applies, so I don't know. Split 22 called, they want their driver back. Thank you for watching. I will be hosting 2 events this June, a summer solstice event on the 21st, as well as a birthday race on the 29th. More information will be posted on my Discord, as well as my website solstice.tv. Links in the description below, so check it out and come say hello in my chat when I'm live with my streams. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below what you think about this incident. Bye bye!
You know what that is? Simply lovely.